Well, I noticed a lot of new faces this evening, and I'm so glad you all came. And I want you to know that this is a safe place to share. So if you want to tell us your story, there'll be no judgment.
Hi, my name is Charlie, and as you know, I have a problem. I'm addicted to cars. And actually, when I say cars, I mean trucks. I don't even need to have 4 wheels. I'm addicted to things with 2 wheels as well. As I might have mentioned in other videos, I have been a motorcycle rider for most of my life. And actually, this is what I use for my daily driver to and from work. I had actually planned on doing a video like this of my beautiful 2021 BMW R18 motorcycle. That thing was beautiful. It was like a piece of artwork. Fit and finish on the BMW was hands down my favorite bike I've ever owned. Very comfortable to ride, very nice to ride. Pretty much just all around, I love that bike. I owned it for 2 years. So why would you get rid of that? You might be asking. Let me tell you, this was as I said, this was my daily driver. And for a daily driver, I put lots of miles on it. I bought it used with 500 miles. And I actually put, I think 12,000 miles on it in the time I owned it. And what was killing me was the maintenance costs. So I guess we've gone through this with Mercedes and other cars that we've owned where maintenance costs are just expected to be higher. But it never sat right with me. It's just an oil change, and why do you need $700 for an oil change? And every other little maintenance schedule with BMW was over the top. And hey, if you can afford it, it's worth it. It's a beautiful bike. I would never sit here and badmouth BMW or my R18. Loved it. But me, I'm cheap. And between the maintenance costs and the gas mileage, which was probably getting 32 miles to the gallon, I wasn't buying that bike for a gas saver, but it does factor in, especially when I'm paying, $700 every time this thing needs to be serviced, at least $700. So I decided to go in a completely different direction. I watched a video with one of my favorite YouTubers, Sean from SRK Cycles and Bikes and Beards. And he found something and featured something that was very interesting to me in the way that I want to use a motorcycle. But before I get too much into the motorcycle itself, take a look at it. So yeah, there it is. It's a 2024 Kawasaki Ninja 7 Hybrid. That's right, this is a hybrid, folks. World's first, only hybrid motorcycle that I know of. So it's a bit experimental, but I trust Kawasaki's. I've had lots of Kawasaki motorcycles that I really liked, and I trust hybrid technology because it's been around for, you know, plenty of time, a couple decades worth. The bike itself, 2021 hybrid. This is basically underneath, this is a 451cc engine, liquid cooled, with a 47 watt, I'll double check that, 47 watt battery, also liquid cooled. They work together, so this is not a plug-in battery. This is a battery that is charged off of the gasoline engine. But basically this is a Ninja 500 with 31.3 inch seat height. Seats, I'm tall, but I don't feel too big for this bike. I believe they said it was 8 inches longer than the normal Ninja. It's 500 pounds roughly, which is pretty heavy for a Ninja, but I think I was coming off about a 750 pound BMW, so it's light for me. This has an automatic transmission or a manual paddle shifter that you can use, but there is no clutch, so the clutch is automated no matter what. There are two main modes. There's Eco and there's Sport mode. In Sport mode, it drives very much like a regular motorcycle. You're shifting with the paddle shifters, again, no clutch. But when you put it in Eco mode, you can choose then between manual transmission with the paddle shifters or a fully automatic transmission where it does all the shifting for you. The engine will cut out in Eco mode to save gas every time you stop, and then it uses the electronic motor or the electric motor to push you forward from a stop until you get to about 10 miles an hour. They said, I thought I read 18 miles an hour, but it definitely does not take that long. And then the gas motor kicks in and takes you from there. So that's how you're saving gas on the hybrid motor. I will say that the automatic transmission is pretty much useless. I don't know if this can be adjusted at some point. I would love it if it could. I wouldn't mind riding in a completely automatic mode, but it shifts at 1200 RPMs, which is like boom, 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 boom. And it's clunky and terrible. I've heard Yamaha has an automatic transmission and Honda both, and they work a little bit better. Look, a train. Anyway, I heard they work a little bit better, but this one's a little clunky. It's at least an automatic transmission. When you're manual and you're shifting with the paddle shifters, it works really nice. It's smooth, no problem at all. I really dig it. The third mode, I guess, to discuss would be walk mode, which is basically just using the electric motor. And if you roll the throttle normally back like you normally would, you can move forward at a walking pace of about 3 miles per hour. And if you roll it forward opposite that you normally would, it will put it in reverse 2 to 3 miles an hour. So this is super handy when parking. I know it's a pretty light bike, but for me, I have a steep driveway and reverse is necessary for me to get it backed into my garage. So that's helpful for me. The other mode, I guess, that I didn't discuss is EV mode. So this has an actual EV mode. You can put it in full electric. That would be really neat, except for it gives you 25 miles of range, EV, and gives you a top speed of 37 to 41. Now I've gotten it to 42 downhill, but it is not quick. And here in Southern California, even the back roads are 45, 50 miles an hour, so that doesn't do me any good at that speed, but it would be really neat. I wish it went a little faster in EV mode. So yeah, this is what I just picked up. I've got about 250 miles on it. Why would I make a video like this, you might ask? Well, number one, it's cool. And I feel like many of you gluttons out there probably like motorcycles as well. So I wanted to show it off. I do like it. But number two, there's no ownership vlogs out there, which I personally would find handy when I was looking to buy this bike. I wanted to see what ownership experience was been like for other people, and I couldn't find anything. So this might be helpful for other people. So I'm gonna try to document as I go through the ownership of this bike. I'm hoping it's gonna be great, but again, it's a brand new bike, brand new technology, at least for a motorcycle. So we'll see. So far, I will say this is the first sport bike I've ever had. Never had another one. I've had lots of cruisers and dual sports and ADV bikes, but I've never had a sport bike. I've always kind of wanted one, especially when I was younger, but I didn't think they would be very comfortable. So one thing to know about this bike, I think it's about a 31-inch seat height, so which is good for me, I'm tall, but it's comfortable and you're not leaning over excessively. It's a little more leaned over than say a cruiser. Obviously I'm not laid back, but as long as you focus on using your core and you squeeze the tank with your knees, there's not any excessive wear on my arms and wrists. Again, this is a commuter for me, and I guess I should have touched on that. I love motorcycles, but I'm not a big 4-hour kind of ride to Palm Springs on the weekend or have a bunch of friends where we go on big hours long trips. I just use it for work. So I have a 25 mile commute to work and 25 miles home, and then I do that 4 days a week, and then I put the bike away on the weekend and never think about it again until Monday. So for my purposes, I didn't need a long distance traveling motorcycle, and this one is plenty comfortable for what I'm using it for. Even not being used to sport bikes at all, this is not leaned over at all like I thought it might be. So there's that. The other two things that I've noticed that are worth mentioning are the EV mode being too slow to be useful, but I would love it if it was like a top speed of say 50 even would be great. And then automatic transmission is clunky, no good. If I can adjust that at some point to where it's shifting at 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs maybe would be more useful. I would like that. So those two things I'm not happy with, but the bike itself I'm very happy with. I'm very comfortable on it. It's really fun. I can see the draw of sport bikes as far as the way you're sitting that position. I'm very, very much engaged in the ride, more so than on a cruiser. I found that cruising back and forth to work, I was just basically like being in a car, and my mind would wander and I wasn't really engaged in the drive or the ride. But with this bike, you're definitely engaged, and it makes you want to go fast and zoom around in traffic, and it's fun. It just makes it fun. Maybe that'll wear off, I'll let you guys know, but at least because it's very different, I've really enjoyed it. One other thing to mention that's really cool, and I haven't messed with it too much yet, I did try it one time. The big draw on this bike is that there is an e-boost, which works, it's just simply a button that I'm showing you here, and it basically works like nitrous would on a nitrous equipped vehicle. And you shoot that, you push that button, and for 5 seconds you have about 17 horsepower boost using the electric motor. And let me tell you, I was on the freeway the first time I was riding it. I told myself I wasn't gonna mess with anything until I got used to this bike, but I was on the freeway. I had about a mile to my exit. There was no traffic around me. I thought, what the heck? I was going about 71 miles an hour, hit that button, and instantly I was at 85 miles an hour. I had to let off, and it pulled so hard I thought I might fly off the back. So I don't know that it's really, really that fast, or if it's just such a stark comparison to how mild the bike runs. Otherwise, again, it's a 450cc. It's not a fast bike. It's a fun bike, and it's a zippy bike, and it can be a lot of fun, but you're not, if you're one of these guys that rides these super fast Ninjas or Hurricanes or Katanas or whatever, this is probably not gonna really float your boat necessarily. But I'm wanting it for gas mileage and fun and enough comfort to get me back and forth to work. We split lanes here in California, so I wanted something a little skinnier. That R18 had bags, and it was a bit touch and go going through traffic with that. So so far so good. I really like it. The first maintenance I'm hoping maintenance with this being a Kawasaki and just being a Ninja 500 underneath isn't going to be a huge deal, but we'll find out. I heard the first one's a little bit steep, but I'm hoping after that it goes back to like a normal maintenance schedule, not too expensive. Any Kawasaki shop can work on this, which is great. So I'll be happy about that. And the gas mileage, so far I'm getting about 60 miles to the gallon, which is really great. I mean, I have a break-in period right now, so I can't go over 4,000 RPMs, which is brutal. I can't even get on the freeway with this, but it has been good for gas mileage. I've kept it in eco mode. I've kept it relatively calm, just riding and cruising on the back roads, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it, and the gas mileage has been great. So this probably is not the bike for everybody. It looks really cool. I can't imagine anybody doesn't think it looks cool, but the hardcore crotch rocket guys, it's not something that's cool for them. Also, being an automatic is probably not cool for a lot of people, but I like it. It's different, and I wanted to try something a little bit more unique. If you guys are interested in following along on the journey to find out about this bike, definitely like, subscribe, click the bell. If this isn't really your cup of tea, don't worry, there's lots more car content coming on the way. We've got some other projects that I really am excited to show you. So other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one.